Welcome to today's webinar, courtesy of the Kentucky Small Business Development Center in Louisville. Discover no-cost, valuable business services to help you thrive, whether starting your entrepreneurial journey or scaling your existing business. We have the resources and expertise to help you succeed. For more information, please visit our website or text 502-977-5800. Thank you for joining us today. Feel free to use the chat feature to ask questions or engage with our speaker. Let's get started. Hey everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Janet Flaw with the Kentucky Small Business Development Center here in Louisville. I'm filling in for Dave today as he takes some much-deserved vacation, so we wish him safe travels. As always, we're going to ask you to go to the bottom of your screen and locate the toolbar with the chat feature and share where you're joining from today. Depending on your device, you may have to touch your screen for that toolbar to appear, but if you'll go there and share where you're joining from today, we always want to make sure everything is working properly. That's one way we can do that. And it also just gives us insight to how far we're reaching. So while you guys are doing that, I'm going to share just a little bit of information about the Kentucky SBDC. So we're a statewide network of 13 centers across the Commonwealth, providing no-cost assistance to help entrepreneurs start, fund, and grow their businesses. We're supported by the U.S. Small Business Administration, University of Kentucky, and there are additional universities in our Commonwealth that support us, as well as some economic development groups and some foundations. So thanks to all those folks for supporting us. And to learn more about us, you can visit KentuckySBDC.com or email info@KentuckySBDC.com. So I'm going to go back to the chat here. Hold on just a second, sorry. And see where we are. So we've got Michelle from Louisville, Heather also from Louisville, Middletown. Is it Ilse from Southern Indiana, and Steve, hey Steve, from Gentleman's Cut. Debbie, also from Litchfield, Kentucky. And Kid, hi Kid, how are you this afternoon? Well, thanks you all for joining us. We are wrapping up a four-part series with our presenter today, Patty Ross of Golden State Marketing. And today we're going to be talking about basically introduction to AI in marketing. So I'm going to turn that over to Patty. And again, you guys can share, post any questions or interact with Patty via the chat, and we'll get to those questions near the end. So hi, Patty, welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome. And I'm happy to be here for the final of this particular series. Let me share my screen because that will just make it more interesting, I'm sure. If I can figure out how to do that. There we go. I've done it before a few times. There we go. Okay, let's make sure this works. And all right, hopefully, there we go. Okay, everybody see the slide? I was having some weird difficulties last week where it would, like, as soon as I'd open it up, it shut it down again. So it's all good.
We're all good.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. And here we have recording. Perfect. So yeah, welcome everyone. Introduction and marketing. No, AI has been around well longer. I mean, ChatGPT kind of came on the market a couple of years ago already, which is hard to believe, end of 2023. I was using an AI tool called Jasper, I think that year earlier, so it wasn't brand new, but I think it ever exploded onto the market, and then everybody's using AI. So some of this may be basic for some. This is I'm a Constant Contact authorized local expert, and Constant Contact is a email marketing platform, but they are actually more than that now. You can do social media and a lot of things through it. So most of this content is focused around the tools around Constant Contact. I'm going to go through the slide presentation. I told Janet I go depending on time. I'm going to go through this material here. But if we have a little time, I'm going to go live and do a few little things on ChatGPT and maybe Canva as well, because they have new AI tools just to kind of give you a feel for content. I focus solely on the content side of things when it comes to marketing, but we'll show you hopefully some new things and tips and tricks when using AI. So with that, so a little bit about me, might be new to me, haven't seen me before in any of the webinars, but I have been in the online space for like 3,000 years now. Since 1998, worked for a gourmet gift basket company and we launched their e-commerce business. It was a traditional catalog and retailer at the time. Been in the wine industry off and on for the past 21 years. I worked on the technology side, directly on with a technology company in the wine industry back then, and then eventually marketing side of it. But I do work with all types of businesses, as you can see here, business to business, business to consumer, a little business to government here. So all types of businesses, as you see. And I do teach for different SBDCs, as I am today for Kentucky, scores, business source centers, women's business centers, a little bit of everybody out there. And I also serve on boards locally, and I always recommend to serve your local business community if you can, whether you have chambers or other affinity groups. I serve on my local neighborhood Venice Chamber of Commerce here in Los Angeles. I'm also currently a membership director for NAWBO Los Angeles, which is a National Association of Women Business Owners. And I also serve on a committee for a local business organization. So definitely recommend to serve your community if you have the opportunity, committees, boards, whatever it is that you have locally to support your business community. So that is me. So the world of marketing advertising, I always share this in all of my classes, right? And I know as a marketing professional, we probably confuse the heck out of business owners on where you should go, right? And a lot of these things, right, we can use the robots for helping us with a lot of these here, creating content and coming up with strategy and all of that. So I know it's like, where do you go to, in particular, to spend your time and money? So I always take a world view here, holistic approach when I'm looking at any individual business out there, because not everything is appropriate for everybody. Right? Of course, budget wise, that makes a big difference. But even if you had $1 million budget to spend on television, doesn't mean that's the right one for you. So I always break it down and look at who you are and what you are on a holistic level before you determine where you should go and spend that time and money. So whether it's traditional TV, radio, print, billboards, direct mail, or digital websites, social media, email marketing, search engine optimization, Wi-Fi text marketing, newer things on the market like that. So again, hopefully we'll cover some of these today, kind of what AI can help with in the world of marketing and advertising. But in general, having a plan in place first, knowing, doing the marketing plan and business plan, so you know what your goals are and what your budget is, of course, before you go out there and do any of these things, make sure they're appropriate for your business. So today's agenda, we're going to talk just a little bit about AI-powered content creation, targeted marketing, and of course, some AI marketing automation, a lot of it using, of course, constant contacts tools that they have within their system. So compared to 1995, when Constant Contact first came out and was little email marketing engine that could, it's definitely much more sophisticated and does a lot more than just emails out there. So what is AI being used for today with marketing? A lot of different things, right? So definitely content, lead gen, personalizing customer experiences, predictive analytics, chat bots. It can optimize your advertising campaigns, obviously create content, develop a brand, right? And drive insights, automate repetitive tasks. I was like, that can hopefully save you some time. Does a lot of things out there in the marketing. Obviously, beyond marketing can do a lot of things, but how do we as marketing professionals use it, and how as you as a business use it? It's great to have the tools, and it has gotten since 2 years ago when ChatGPT. We have Gemini. There's a ton of tools out there. All right. I think there's an AI tool. We said a couple of years ago, there's an AI tool born every minute. I think that's still the case. So I know it still takes work, right? Yes, it does help speed up some processes and things, but it still takes work to actually do the prompts, post up the material, schedule it out, plan it out. So it's not totally robot driven at this point. I think you still need human intervention with it. So AI tools can allow you to definitely automate your content, create blogs, social media captions, email campaigns, give you any type of content that you need. It can help you edit, proofread, right? And optimize content for your particular style, right? Making content more polished, search engine friendly if you don't already have it, SEO friendly, right? Personalized recommendations. So AI platforms can offer provide personalized recommendations and customizable templates tailored to your specific needs and preferences. It's just knowing how to do the right prompts to get all that information. So content creation, right? Marketing is driven by content creation. We need constant content, not just constant contact, constant content. So what do we need content for? Definitely to attract potential customers, show them your expertise, right? A lot of us are for especially B2B, and we need to show people what our expertise is so they can hire us. Right. Definitely build brand awareness. So whether you're selling shoes or I think it's a moving company here. I see Blue Ant Movers. I like that. I like the name. So you need brand awareness, right? To know people know who you are and how to find you, right? Customer engagement, of course, and then definitely to drive conversions, meaning they're doing the thing you want them to do. Hiring you to do their moving, hiring me to do the marketing, buying the pair of shoes or whatever it is that you want, the conversion is that you want to happen, right? So there's always a need for content. And see the pros and cons of using AI, right? So hopefully it can help with writer's block. Definitely can get the juices flowing if you're getting stuck on writing content. Definitely maybe help you communicate more effectively, maybe improve a campaign's impact, save time, definitely. Cons, it can lack human touch. Like I said, it will still require human expertise to evaluate results, right? So I obviously do that as a marketing professional, and I look at everything, as I mentioned already, holistically, what's going to work. It might not be what I do. I might say, you know what, your business should really focus on SEO. I mean, Kit, I'm looking at Kit. I keep looking at Blue Ant Movers in my chat there, right? So Kit might call me and go, hey, Pat, I need help with marketing. And I'm not going to necessarily say, hey, go and do social media posts, right? My first intuition would be to go and do SEO, do Google ads, because right, people immediate intent. I don't hire a mover until I need one, and I immediately need one, or just about close to needing one. All right, I'm not sitting around on Facebook saying, look at, oh, there's a moving company here. Or maybe one day I'll need it, right? So again, that's where it ChatGPT or any of the AI tools could potentially help with that, hopefully, but making sure that it's like somebody with years of expertise would know, like, hey, I'm going to guide you in the right direction, because you then still have to go execute on all of that, right? It can definitely make mistakes. You do have to worry about, I'm just forgetting the term, not mirage, I'm forgetting the term where it might create content that doesn't exist. Our current Health and Human Services director got caught using AI to create some reports with fake quotes, fake reports and stuff. So it was quite obvious they used AI because none of the reports they used existed. So definitely it can make mistakes. So you always do have to check on it. And it's only as good as the input, meaning what the prompts are, what you're looking for, right? Yeah, and they always wait till the last minute to book, right, Kit? We need the mover now. Or yesterday, right? So again, there are good uses for it, and it has definitely evolved. Sometimes it's devolved. It seems like stick with ChatGPT because I know it. It knows all of me and knows what the inputs I put in. But last year I was finding it was degrading. And I don't know, it's just over time with many humans using it, but it was actually being like, belligerent in a way and not wanting to cooperate. And I'd have to like scold it and say, hey, what do you want on a smoke break or something? So it's like, no, I can't do that. I'm like, yes, you can do that. So I've been even having issues just using the new AI tools with Canva and having to do prompts, and it's not doing the things that you want it to do. So again, you do have to monitor what the outputs are on it and make sure you're double checking everything with it. If you haven't, let me ask you in the room, so I should have asked this earlier, how many of you are already using AI directly? Hallucinations. Thank you, Robert. That's what I was looking for. Hallucinations, where it's kind of giving you information that's not really real. So who in the room, if you just want to say in chat, using it, and at what level? Basic, you've already intermediately using AI in any way, whatever tools you're using, it could be even in Canva. So pay you're using it if you're basic, intermediate, advanced. So okay, intermediate. Oh, Jennifer. So some of you already know. So some of this might be basic for some of you. Right. So use definitely can AI can help generate different types of content, obviously subject lines, emails, social media posts, text messages, your product description, your blog, your website. I mean, this is just a little sampling of what it can potentially do for content generation. You can choose particular tones, right? You can have it say, I want something enthusiastic or more informative or approachable. You can have it get humorous, more serious. You can definitely use prompts to get the tone that you want. Some people don't like to use AI. They say, "Oh, it doesn't sound like us." I have an advising client that says that it's like it doesn't ever sound like us, and I'm like, "Well, you can get it to sound like you if you prompt it. What just try it out. See if you would you have said this." Sometimes it does come out like, "Oh yeah, we wouldn't really talk like that," right? So, but you can get it to talk like you. You can get it to do a style. I did a client wanted a post in a certain style, and they gave me samples of some other posts, and I just put that post prompt into ChatGPT, and it came up with a similar style they wanted. So that kind of helped prompt that. Of what they style that they wanted, not necessarily their voice, but the style that they wanted. So you can have it, you can prompt it to do different types of tones and inflections and things like that. Some of you may be already aware. So when kids say he's so behind, you're too busy moving, right? And some of you are using Canva, ChatGPT, perfect. Okay, so and these are some of the tools that are in constant contact, but they're pretty similar out there to other tools like ChatGPT and Gemini, right? You can type in your ideas of what you want. Again, you can type in the tone. I want informative. My goal is a newsletter, right? You could say what you want it to say, and then it will output and give you some text. Of course, you can always, revise it and change it up if you don't think it's exactly what you want. Anything that you do on any of the tools, especially if it's giving you, I'll show it. Hopefully, I'll have time, but I'll show you on ChatGPT. Like if I'm writing blogs and I ask, hey, I want quotes and statistics out there to support the blog article. Now, on the paid version, you can have it browse the web. I always will double check. I ask for the link citations. I will double check the links, make sure it's actually a real article, real report and analysis before I present it out to the world, right? And just to make sure we're not getting hallucinations, as they're called, and it's not making up information because it has done that in the past, I've noticed, and still continues to do it. So you want to be careful with that. You can create emails, of course, constant contact. You can create emails, ask for like a particular type of email. What's your goal with it? You want to make an announcement. I want an enthusiastic tone. These are pretty basic prompts, but within constant contact, you can have it help you write it. You don't have to sit there stuck on what you want to say. Coming up with a title, a subject line that speaks to your audience and prompts what you want them to do. So all those tools are in there. You can create social media posts when this is again within constant contact, but of course, any of the tools will help you with that. Right. So you can ask it to design your post. You can ask it to even create an image or upload your own image. You still have to be a little careful with AI generated images, especially when it comes to people. It's definitely getting better, but some come out a little bit alien, like depending on the tool that you use. So once you put on the prompt, then it creates this content where before you'd have to sit and figure out the content and maybe even create the images. Now, I would think a realtor probably is using the real home pictures, not something AI generated, of course, but at least it can help you get out that content quicker, right? And have the captions done quicker for you. And using AI, right, to avoid spam and make sure your content is seen. So it will definitely check for errors within the system on your subject line, your pre-header, right, who it's from, where make sure all your links and buttons work and everything. That's kind of been standard. I wouldn't know if that's, say, AI-driven part of Constant Contact, but they've had the checks and balances, throughout the how many years they've been around, just making it easier, right? So, and as I said, always edit your AI generated content. Make sure it makes sense, make it sound like you. Does it target your correct audience? Check those facts. Make it easy, definitely to skim, also SEOable, right? Make sure that's in there, depending on what it is, of course. Adjust the length for the channel. And you can always ask for a certain length. You say, hey, I want it to be LinkedIn appropriate and have more, 800 words or 1,000 words. You can have it shorter, longer. You can ask for emojis and hashtags. There's a lot of things that you can do. Some of you doing prompts already with the tools. So definitely make sure that you're editing. So it's still work, right? It still takes even though the robot's helping you by spitting out content for you, it makes work to check it, as well. And then definitely having more relevant messages improves your email marketing results, right? So definitely dynamically generated content, segmenting, right, to the correct audience. So I'll show you some of the little tools they have in Constant Contact when it comes to creating campaigns and automations, right? So how can AI help you with targeting your audience, right? So it can definitely customize content and greetings, recommend products based on past searches, right? And depending on how some of you, if you're connected, you're integrated with Constant Contact, say with like Shopify, or other shopping tools, you'll definitely get more information than if you're not, right? I don't have anything connected to my Constant Contact account. I don't use Shopify. I do have a shopping cart, but it's not connected. But I don't have purchases, people coming back based on past purchases and stuff. AI algorithms can analyze past behaviors and interactions to predict what services might be of interest to them. So who is like frequently opens your emails, who is likely to sell, right? So it does give you that information as well. Constant Contact will break it. I think it's on a slide. They break down your most engaged audience, your least engaged, your somewhat engaged audience. So you can do different emails based on that, with whoever the most engaged, I mean, the people are opening your emails, clicking on things, right? Definitely optimize your timing, determines best time to send the email based on when open rates, engagement patterns. They already have that built into their algorithm, knowing exactly usually when most people open them, so you can choose to have them decide the best time to send it rather than me just saying, I'm just going to send it at, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Right, can definitely AI content analysis tools to optimize your content for maximum impact, right? Tone, language, formatting, etc. You can do A/B testing, or we call split testing, to test different subject lines out there, different things that you want to test against. So you can do that. And then there are pre-built segments I just mentioned, right? So you have your most engaged, somewhat least, and everyone else. It's like, that's a new one. I hadn't seen that one before. Remaining contacts who received too few emails. So say they're brand new on your list. They can't really judge. They don't want to say they're least engaged if they've only received one email from you. I've actually, since I use Constant Contact, I've actually used this least engaged and somewhat engaged to see if I can do something different with the least engaged and prompt them at a certain point. They might be least engaged. They're just not reading their emails. They're not checking. So there are reasons eventually might be something that you can do to prompt them. Give you an example. So I wish we had this at the time, but, and I don't have the slide here. It's from my email marketing class. I worked with a wine importer. They specifically exported out from Burgundy, France. So they had 250 Burgundy wine SKUs from 30 wine producers in Burgundy, and they exported them here into California. So you shipped them domestically. And so they had hired me to do their email marketing. And he was pretty prolific with email marketing at the time. But he would be selling cases of wine. And generally, even with his 20, 30, whatever percent off that he was doing, they were still high. It was still 700, 900, $1,000 per case, even at a discounted price. So one thing he didn't do, which is what he hired me for, because he's like, well, our list is small. They're literally dying off. Tending to be older audience. And we just want to get more buyers and we want to get them to purchase. So one thing he didn't do is they didn't look under the hood. They didn't go look at the numbers. They didn't go see who stopped purchasing years before and didn't ask why, didn't find out why. So I did that. And with their CRM that they had, in their sales CRM, I could see who stopped purchasing and when and what they purchased. So I looked at the numbers and I saw a bunch of people had stopped purchasing a few years before that. and their average order value was $300, never purchased above that amount. So he basically stopped speaking to them, right? Speaking to them via email, because all of his generous deals were still high price. They were, like I said, the lowest I had seen, six, seven, eight, $900. So all I did was like, okay, let's change up the deal. Let's cut it in half. Let's do a deal around $300. And guess what? We raised the dead, right? Not the literal dead, but the dead people 2 years earlier. Right. So think about that lost opportunity cost of people who may have still purchased $300 a few times a year, stock up on their wine, and all those customers who stopped purchasing times how many years later, right? So making sure that you're engaging and definitely focus on most engaged, but can you do anything? In that case, if I just said, well, they're dead weight, let's just drop them off the list, we'll, leave them alone. But looking at those numbers to see why was it? Some of them maybe just didn't come back because they just didn't need any more wine, or they stopped drinking or whatever, or they literally left this earth. But we did manage to get some people back in purchasing again. So really paying attention to what's going on. And here, can I do anything before I say, well, the least engaged? I eventually did drop them a lot of them off my list because it was, costing me more money. And after really trying to get some lift from them, I said, well, let me drop them off the list here. Right. So can you do that? You can create those dynamic segments based on their activity. So they here we have they opened any of your last 5 emails. They're on a certain list, right? So did they click on anything? So you can choose different things within there to show like how, let's say, hey, they opened it, so maybe they're more likely to open up a new email and maybe send them a new message, like a lower amount or something, like we did with the winery. And so you can use dynamic content that changes based on who you're sending to. Now, again, you have to have, like, say, attached to Shopify. Not everybody has this, but it's a possibility, right? So you can definitely change it. Abandoned carts are definitely a dynamic content as well. Again, doing A/B test splitting or split testing, we also call it, testing different subject lines. So they don't end up in spam. Have AI write them, if you don't want to write them, and see. Usually that's the number one thing that you would test against. And you can decide what percentage of the audience you want to be chosen to get that version. Choose when it will end. So you can say, okay, let's just try it up to this number. Do run it for, says here, how long should we wait before declaring a winner? 48 hours. And then you can say, okay, it looks like A is clearly the winner. Let's start using A for the rest of the list. Right. So that's typical A/B testing as well. And then, so definitely lots of possibilities with automated communication. So you can start engaging new subscribers with a welcome message. Birthday anniversary messages are popular. You create a bunch of other series, text messaging. They also have SMS and text messaging within Constant Contact now. And you can hear how you use your automations, right? So Constant Contact has this, all the email marketing tools usually have automations, and some might charge more for it, of course. But definitely abandoning carts, right? A nurture series, like a welcome series, win back campaigns. That's pretty much what I described with the win back with the winery, and winning back them at their lower average order value. All right. So it could build loyalty and relationships, right? The welcome series, birthday and anniversary, right? You want to show that you care, right? And you're paying attention. People love to get those birthday messages, right? 2 days, so let's just say we're doing 2 days before the birthday. They join, yes. If subscribed to text, yes, send a text, right? And if they didn't subscribe to SMS, send them an email. So it's just one example of what you can do with automations. Make it easy, and also make it easy to just keep nurturing that lead, right? We might send them that one email. And I hear this all the time when it comes to email. Everybody's afraid to email their customers. They go, oh, I don't want to annoy my customers, right? I'll just send once a quarter, or I'll do my annual email because I don't want to annoy people. You're not annoying people, you're selling your service. So if you think you're annoying people, I think maybe you should just be out of business, because how are you going to make business if you're not afraid to sell to people and tell them about your product and service? So same with email, they definitely people want to hear from you more often than you think, right? So you can do different triggers for automations, right? As soon as they subscribe, right? Or a tag is added to them. They're do a certain thing with a tag. They are added to a specific segment, right? They have a birthday or anniversary. They clicked on something, right? The low engagement, right? That segment that they have. An abandoned cart would be a trigger. Or maybe they placed an order or order is fulfilled. Again, these would be integrations. WooCommerce is WordPress, shopping cart, Shopify. Those two are integrated with constant contact, right? So you would need to have those integrated to do the abandoned carts. And then so delays, right? When you're setting up automations, you do set delays in between. So it could be we trigger, wait 5 minutes, we do send the message, maybe we wait a day, send another message. So you do determine kind of the path of how you want your automations to go out. And so establish the goal of your campaign. Do we want to, are we targeting for an event, attracting new customers, keeping customers informed, collecting donations, right? So figure out what your goal is. Describe your event. What is this, right? What are we doing? Hey, it's a summit. You can expect, here's what you can expect, etc. So describe as much as you can, telling the robot what to do, right? And who do you want to invite? All customers, you have a specific target audience in your list. And how long will you market this event? So we want to target it between March 14th and March 30th. And choose your category. What do you do? What kind of business do you have? Physical goods, professional services, right? Content creator, etc. And then what's your primary source of revenue? So how do you make your money? Product sales, professional services, etc. And one last thing, could you please provide specific details regarding the location? So of course we want to say location. This is when it is. And then you let AI do its thing, right? It's going to analyze again, it's all based on your inputs, what information you gave it, give you that custom timeline, creates your marketing campaign. Of course, you're telling it to, do you want social media? Do you want email? Do you want text as well? It will create an entire campaign series for you. So here, voila, as it says, landing pages created, an announcement email, social media blast, right? Maybe a reminder email, because you don't want to just send the one, maybe a reminder text or a start first text, and then a social media countdown. Oops, sorry, I hit my mouse. I'm trying to move my Zoom bar out of the way, the bottom here. Okay, there we go. So a social media countdown and maybe a text countdown as well. So again, a whole campaign is created. It's not just like we're not siloing out, oh, here's an email, let me go over here and create a social media. So you can use a tool like Constant Contact to create all of this. All right. So it has constant contact, it has helped millions of people just like you, and they got to tools to make it easy. These are all the things that constant contact can do. Obviously, email marketing, text, surveys, social media posts, automation, segmentations, of course, AI tools. I showed you a little bit. Google ads and social media ads can be done through there. You can have events registered through here, grow your list, right? So, and landing pages. So, a lot of things that Constant Contact can do beyond just the email. So, it's a great tool to use. So, Constant Contact is giving you a free gift. You get a free trial. If you scan that code, you can sign up for a free trial. They also have this code there at the bottom, 330p for 30% off for 3 months if you want to try out Constant Contact. It's a little gift for attending this. And my gift to you is to schedule a strategy session, not just social media, with me. Get a free half hour with me to talk about your marketing, whether it's email or AI or whatever you want to talk about. So scan that QR code on the right. And then I also do have a LinkedIn Marketing Lab group, it's called. You're welcome to join that on the left. Join us. Please introduce yourself. You are allowed to blatantly, shamelessly plug yourself. I always say my only rule is nothing illegal, but everything else, you can put a link to your website. I have no rules about that other than that. But join, ask any marketing questions that you have. And you're welcome to participate as much as you want in that group. So that is my presentation live, but I told Janet that if I have time, which I do, I'm going to switch over to live and I'm going to do some things on ChatGPT. Some of you may have already know some of the things, some of you are new. Also see a little, if I can do a little bit on Canva as well. So I thought that would be more interesting than watching a lot more slides. So the magic of AI. So let's do that. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment and just switch gears here. and turn off my slides. And if anybody, I'm looking for questions, if anybody has any questions, not yet. All right, and ending show. Okay, so let me switch over to my, there we go. Okay, so I'm here and then I'll share again. All right. Okay. So we're in ChatGPT. I'm going to start there. I'm just going to do some basic things that you can start with. Now, again, I have the paid version. It's $20 a month. So some of the things I'm doing are going to be based on paid. And I recommend it if you're going to use this tool on a regular basis. There are a lot of other tools out there, of course. So if you don't want to use ChatGPT, find something that works for you. But just on basic level, there's a lot of features in here. You can create a custom GPT, so you can fill it out, tell them like I'm a marketing person and this is who I am and your voice and all that. But just basic prompts. The one I usually start with, especially, actually, let me do this. Let me have somebody give me their, put in your website address. If you have a lot of content on your website, I'll use somebody as an example if you want with creating some content here. So anybody who wants to share, there we go. So we have, let's see, let me just check your website first and see, make sure. So we have beautiful site. Okay, so let's see, we do portraits, looks like ceramics and right, house portraits, very pretty. Okay, so let's use this. Have you used, is it Ilsa? No, I'm sorry, Maisie. Have you used AI? Are you using AI at all for your website? Let me know to say yes in chat. I'm going to go pull this. So let's do this. So the first thing I normally do is just to test the site, right? To make sure that ChatGPT is reading the site correctly. So I just do a basic prompt. I just say, go to my website. Oops, no spell. Oh, it autocorrects, but I'm just going to clean that up. Go to my website, and based on the content on my site, tell me who my ideal audience is. So this is just a basic prompt to, here we go, use, okay, there we go, got Grammarly attached to that. This is just to make sure it's reading the site correctly. There we go, so let's see. So gift givers seeking meaningful custom keepsakes. So I want to make sure it's showing what you do. You do handcrafted unique arts and keepsakes and things like that. Boutique shoppers, couples planning a wedding or anniversary. So you kind of use this ideal audience. These aren't specific buyer personas. There we go, likely demographics. It's actually doing a little bit more information than it normally does, right? So I know it's reading it correctly. If it had come up and say that she sells ice cream, I would be concerned, right? They don't sell ice cream. So that's just the first check that I do. You can also say, now give me 5 buyer personas based on the above. This real simple. I'm just going to do real simple prompts here for now. So you can then specifically go to who is it that I could target? Who, and I don't know, Maisie, if this is, when you see these, if these make sense, if you are thought of these buyer personas. But here we go. So we have those buyer personas. I like that. Home loving Hannah. Gifting Greg, the thoughtful husband. Oh, too bad he's married. Oh, no. We need that. Legacy Linda. So it's giving you some ideal clients. It's starting to kind of build out some, we need some, some marketing materials now. So I'm going to say, let's do some social media. I'm going to have it just do some basic, right? So I would like a month's worth of social media post based on content on my site. Now, I'm not doing anything more specific than that as far as I just like take what you find there and give me the content. So I'm going to give a little bit more prompts. Let's see. I'm just going to say 20 posts to keep it. You can give it any number, 20 posts and at least 100 words, include emojis and hashtags, make it casual but elegant in style. I'm just making this up at this point. And drop, let's see, drop this. I can't type. There we go. Drop this into a spreadsheet format. I can download. Okay, I think I have it all. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna let it rip. Now it already knows you because I already have put in your email, your website address earlier, so it's in the same chat file, so you don't have to put it again. Now, if you're not on the paid version, you would have to give it the prompts. You'd have to say, I have a website that does this, I sell these particular products, I'm targeting this type of audience, and so you'd have to feed it and tell it the whole story to understand. You can also do the prompt like, I need some marketing help, and this is, what I do. Ask me questions, and you can have it give you a list of questions so you don't leave anything out there. So here it gives you, let me do this. Can you also type out the posts here? Okay, so this way we can see what it actually does. There we go. So these are what's just basically some basic generic, not say generic, but just pulling from your site. I'm not asking for anything very specific on there. So here's just some potential posts. Now, one thing I left off here is you can ask it for image suggestions as well with that. It might be pulling something from your website. So let me do that. I'm going to go back and have it stop and take, go back and include image suggestions. Now, it's not going to show the image. I don't really want that. I just want it just to tell me an image, which I can then go to Canva and then put that in there. Right. So it just gives me that because sometimes it just not giving you the correct image. Now, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go over to Canva really quick. Let's go here. Let's see. So I have to do two things here. So Canva, if anybody's using Canva, they do have some new AI features here. Let me go here. And so you have Canva AI now, and you can say design for me, social media. The only thing that I'm coming up against with it is it's not cooperating in some cases. Let me go here and go back and pull your email address, or sorry, I keep saying email, your website. Oops. Now, is everybody seeing Canva here now? Just making sure. I just realized I switched over to the app version.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you. Okay, so let's do that and drop this into a sheet, Canvas sheet, because they have Canvas sheets now. Let's see if it will cooperate. And let's say include the image and the captions. And design for me, social media. And I want it in an Instagram post size. So make sure you specifically what you want. And let's see in comparison. Now I tried this prompt last night and it kept giving me the images and it would say, oh, hold on, wait, I will have the captions for you momentarily, but it would never give me the captions. So in comparison to ChatGPT, let me go back to that while that's doing its thing over here. Okay, so we have these captions. Now we could go, like I said, to here we go, image suggestion, artist hand sketching with visible pens, tools, and sketchbooks. So you can kind of go over to Canva and see if you can come up with something close with that. So let me keep going on here. So let's do some more content. Maisie, I don't know, do you do blogs at all for yours? Beautiful, I love this sign. Yes, okay, so you do some blogs. So let's do this. I'm gonna go back to ChatGPT and say now, I would like some blog suggestions for my website. Give me 10 topics. So to start there, see what's going on. So to start with the topics, see if you like them. And then we'll see, we'll go from there. Okay, why custom art makes the most meaningful gift for you. So let me know when you read these, which one you'd like to actually create the blog on, if any of these look good for you. Just tell me the number. Okay, so there we go. Number 2. All right, from photo to portrait, how I create your custom illustration. So let's see, because it might be more personal, but we'll see what it spits out. So I would like the actual blog for this topic. There we go. I would like at least 800 words or more, I'm going to say include any quotes. And in this case, it's something directly from you. But say if I'm wanting to do like kind of a research blog, I will put include any quotes or statistics that you find to support the topic. So I don't think in this case it would. I don't think you would have any quotes on here. Probably would make something up. So I'm going to keep that out of there. Let me see, include. I'm going to see if include anything you think would be good to include to support this topic. There we go. And I think that's it. Okay, so we'll see what happens there. Let me go back to Canva while that's running. And then here we go. So here, okay, so it says, sit tight while I pull together Instagram post series in Canvas Sheets format. I'm still waiting for it. So it did create some interesting graphics. I don't know if I would use any, but I only did a few. So I'm still not thrilled with some of the AI features here, but I'm gonna actually do something here. We're gonna do something a little different. I usually do these on ChatGPT, but I'm gonna do them here as well. So we're gonna switch gears here. I want inspirational quotes. Okay, so let's see. Well, what do you think, Maisie, as far as inspirational quotes? Like on home life, home living, what would be a good topic for you to have inspirational quotes? I don't know if you do that already for your business. Very popular topic, meaningful gifts. Like, let's see, 20 inspirational quotes rather. I should just let it autocorrect. Inspirational quotes about gift giving, and the meaning of giving kind of thing. Okay, we'll do that. And then include who said it or wrote it. And this is kind of a prompt from ChatGPT, and include the citation along with the quote. Okay, so we're going to see what happens here. Now, usually they saying include who said it or wrote it is basically saying include the citation. But I had to dumb it down for at least ChatGPT, because if I just said include a citation, it made up a bunch of quotes and said ChatGPT wrote them. So I'm like, I want real quotes, right? Now here is what I didn't want. It actually gives you the source. So I'm going to go back. I don't want the source, only because I need to paste them into Canva. So let's go back. Go back and leave out the source and only have the quote and citation. Okay, so I just want to eliminate those. So when I copy paste them, I don't want that extra line in there. So there we go. I'm going to bounce back over to ChatGPT, see what that's doing. Okay, so here is the blog. Okay, so there we go. This look like gave me what it did over here. Hold on. Oh, I see. Okay, let me close that. It gave you a couple of options here. So here's response 1 and response 2. I'm just going to grab one. I don't know if this is the one that you would want, but this is what it spit out here for the blog. Okay. And now I'm going to, oops, there we go. It's over here. I keep changing this around. There we go. Okay, so now I want to go back and say, I would like some email ideas. Now, I just showed you in Constant Contact, you can create a whole campaign. This is obviously outside of Constant Contact if you don't use it. For my website, please give me 5 email campaign ideas. That would be a mix of educational, inspirational, promotional, and engaging. These are the 4 content types out there that you should have a mix of. So we'll see what rips there. Let me see a question here. I wonder if you could restrict the formatting based on the brand kit that I've created on Canva. Oh, interesting. Let's look and see. Now, let me find out, because I don't obviously have your brand kit, but I'll see if we'll check that out. Okay, so we have the quotes and the citations here. So what I'm going to do, and you can do this in ChatGPT. I can pull these from ChatGPT as well, do the same one. But we are going to go to create, and we're going to create an Instagram post size. And this is on the paid version of Canva, by the way. We're going to go to the templates, and we're going to go to just put quote. We're going to find an inspirational quote style. For now, I'm just going to use this one. I know it's like maybe not your color scheme, a little bit. You can edit everything before you bring in the quotes, right? So you want to make sure, do I like the font? I usually like it a little left justified. I don't know if you don't like this color, you can change that color. Whatever it is you want to change. Like I said, if you want to change the font itself, put in your logo, whatever works for you. I'm just going to do that. Just going to keep it like that. Okay, so that's going to be our template. So the next thing excuse me, next thing you want to do is you want to go under the apps, go to bulk create. Okay, where I have them manually. You could upload a file. So if you had a spreadsheet and put them in a spreadsheet, you can upload the spreadsheet as well. But I have them manually enter it. So I copied from the Canva AI. I'm going to clear the table. I only need this here. I'm going to paste. There's my 20 quotes. Okay, I'm done. And then I'm coming back here. I click in the box where the quote is. Let me get rid of this here. Oops, there it is here. And I think it's covering up what I want. Okay, I did that already. Hold on. We did that. Go away. Can't get rid of this box. Hold on, let me try that. Okay, it's in there. It's done. Trying to get over here. There we go. Get rid of that. Please go away. Like, why want to go away? Okay. Let's try that again. It's covering up right where I want to go. I can't get rid of this. I already did. Okay, no, not what I want. It's right under here. Let's see. I already did the data. Let me start from scratch. Something's going on there. It's not letting me go where I want to go. Okay, back to Instagram post. Okay, and then design, just pull that there. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go back to apps, back to bulk create, and enter manually. Clear the table, paste in. There we go, done. There, that's what I want. Okay, so this was covering this bar. I need to connect. So I'm clicking in here and I'm just going to take that out real quick. There we go. Do back and do mine. Okay, so I'm going to connect the data. Okay, and it's found the first field, which is the empty field. Continue. There are my other quotes. Generate. And it's going to create a separate file. I think I did it twice. I can open up the file and now I have the quotes. You have to do a little bit of adjustment because they're different sizes and you have to kind of play with them and move them around. And there we go. I'm trying to find the edges there. So you have to kind of play with that. Okay, so now we have the quotes. Let's go back to where we were with Canva AI. And there we go. Okay, so it should be, I think I'm in the wrong one. Hold on. Did I do them? No, I didn't do them here. I'm in two different versions of it. We created those here. Let's see, where did they go? This it here. Oh, here they are right here. Okay. So I think these are it here. Yeah. So now it's like, now I need social media captions for each of the quotes. Now this is just my thing. It's up to you. I put do not include the actual quote in the caption because it's already on the image, but if you want to, it's fine. Include emojis and hashtags if you want them. Okay, so now what it will do is kind of take the essence of the quote out there and give you that. You can put more in from like I want it longer, say I want 200 words, but I just a little basic essence of the quote is fine. Gives you a couple of hashtags. Doesn't give you like your branded hashtag, but now you have the quotes and you have the captions to go along with it. And once you're and you can do this on ChatGPT as well. Once you have a chat prompt file, you can just go back and go, okay, give me 20 more, give me 50, keep on going, just like you do with ChatGPT. So you can do this same thing once it kind of knows you. So let me go back to our other robot, keeping the robots busy. So we asked for some email marketing content here. So it created just some basic, here's one that's educational, so you can kind of play with this. Again, you can do some more sophisticated prompts to get more information here. But this gives you a couple of different, something that's more promotional, something a little bit more inspirational. So again, you might have to develop some of this content because inside the studio, what I am sketching this month, you'd have to supply that information, obviously. So that is a little bit of prompting and stuff. I don't have that much time, but anybody have any questions or want to see anything. Oh, let me see too. Let me answer your question, Maisie, on the brand kit. So let me see here. Let me make sure which brand kit I have. Okay. So let's go back to Canva Create. And I'm going to say I need 10 social media posts. There we go. Please use the brand kit for Harry Wong. I'm just going to use that, see if that actually pulls it in for style and color. Okay, so based on, let me see. And then I said for my website, I'm going to put yours in here, even though it doesn't match, because again, I don't have your brand kit here. There we go. Okay, so let's see if it pulls in that on there. It's a good question. Let's see what it generates here. Yeah, I'm still like I said, it's something went wrong. Try asking me again. Do I have to ask the same way again or different? Brand kit for Harry one. Okay, let's see. Maybe it's confused. Oh no, we'll see. But good question. Anything else on ChatGPT? Again, I think I covered a lot of the basics on the content creation. Yes, you can definitely play around with it on your end. And any of, like I said, all comes down to the prompts. I did very basic prompts. I didn't do any pre-prompting or creating any custom GPTs with it. But again, always check the information, right? Especially, so if I was to do what I mentioned earlier. Let me show an example. Let me switch. I'm going to switch prompts real quick, or switch to a new one, new chat. And let me just pull. I'm just going to do mine. Okay. Let me just pull this one here. Let me see if I have somebody else in there. I put your link in there. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. I'm scanning. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this one because I know I could pull something that, okay, so I need a blog post about marketing strategies in 2025. Please include any quotes or statistics you can find to support this topic. All right. Okay, include the citations and the links to the citations. I want at least 500 words. There we go. My website is, please use my tone and style. I don't know what my tone and style is. Okay, there we go. So we'll see. So you'll see kind of if you're using it to pull information again from the on the paid version, you can have it search the web beyond what the basics are. I can have it go to my website as well. So it's just, I'm just doing some general topic here. So you can see here it included businessinsider.com, right? Because it included a little bit of, let's see, embracing AI. So talk about AI here. Human touch, influencer marketing. So here it says influencer marketing continues to be a powerful strategy with the market projected to grow to $32 billion in 2025. However, the focus is shifting towards authenticity and community engagement. Right. So then it gave the links. So I would want to go here. I'm not going to click on anything here right now and go and check. Did it give me a correct quote of $32 billion? Did it make something up? Again, would hallucinate. So I want to make sure that's why I include it. You don't have to include it in the article unless you want to have them go off to, send them off to all these different locations. Sometimes I'll say at the end, include the references at the end with the links. So which it did here automatically on there. So that's how you would do it if you wanted to pull in some quote statistics and things to support your topic, right? Let me go back to Canva real quick to see if it did its thing. Uh, let's see. And it doesn't really give you the 10 posts. I'll get these 10 posts ready, hang tight while I work on them. And a couple of times I've gone back and asked, where are they? Hello, on this other prompt I was working on, and it still hasn't done it. So I can't really tell, not really the Harry Wong style. So I would say play with that and see maybe there is a way to pull that in that I just didn't do it right on it. But I'm still not thrilled. If I went to ChatGPT, now I couldn't pull in a brand kit necessarily. Maybe there's a way to upload a brand kit. But yeah, so far some of the tools with the new Canva, a lot of new AI editing features as well. So, anyways, play around with all of them. But I'll finish here. And let me see, there's one question popping in. Are we able to have AI send us a text or notification when a certain email pops up? For example, if an email listed all states, we can only have AI notify me if only emails from my state instead of me sitting at the computer. There might be a way. I don't know with ChatGPT. There are tons of AI tools out there. I've never tried that. When an email pops, I'm talking about like an email comes into your inbox. I don't that I mean your inbox can do notifications anyways. But when certain emails, there probably is. I'm sure there are tools for that. There's, like I said, there's a million AI tools. But yeah, there probably is. You can probably Google it and ask for that, and it'll probably give you the tools that can do that. But that sounds like a good idea. Anyways, I'm going to pass it back to Janet. If you have any questions, definitely reach out to me. You'll get the recording and slides and everything sent to you. And thank you very much. Thank you, Janet.
Thank you very much, Patty. Very, very informative as always. Also with that mail out, we'll get back to the QR code where you can set up that session. Very valuable, obviously, to take advantage of that session with Patty. And I really appreciate it. Thank you again. Again, we hope Patty will join us again in the future for some other subject matter. But thank you, everyone. And please stick around to fill out our evaluation, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, Patty.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye.